Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Mob Psycho 100. Last time around, we had the battle for social rehabilitation, friendship. Where, Mob fought Serizawa, and basically we learned that Serizawa is pretty much exactly like Mob, but he was just picked up by the wrong guy. And then Mob confronted Suzuki, and they had a fight, and it's crazy and actiony and amazing and everything, and there's 10 other things I could mention from last episode, but I don't want to because I just want to get on with this finale. So yeah. Also, just as a note, next week we'll be watching the OVA that's here on Crunchyroll, so that'll be fun. But yeah, like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode, the finale of Season 2 of Mob Psycho 100. Here we go. You know, it is exactly what I said last week. It's Steven Universe fully realized. And it is, because it's not, granted, he's not redeemed, but honestly, that was also like the end of the Legend of Korra. Jesus, you know? Like, it was ridiculous. It was just, he just went too far, and Mob was able to help. And absorbed the explosion. Well, as best he could, and then the broccoli took all the rest. That's funny. I love that. That was episode 1. That was the first episode of the season when he did that. That's really funny. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh. And yeah, it definitely, like, it feels sort of like the end of The Legend of Korra, which, slight spoiler, I guess, but yeah, I guess spoiler for that, but that's pretty much what happened to Kuvira. That well, not the explosion for her, at least. Excuse me. It was a thing of, Korra was able to save her, and because of that, she turned over a new leaf. But what I enjoy about this and that is that it's not a complete... I mean, it's a redemption of, like, like, things are forgiven, you can turn over a new leaf and stuff, but you are going to face the consequences of your actions, especially for Suzuki, Because, I mean, he was an international terrorist, basically. You kind of have to, So, yeah. He lived his life in solitude. It's an interesting thing, too, because I'm glad they touched on the fact that he did have a wife, Because that is one thing I was kind of thinking about. I was like, because he had to have had a wife because he had a son, And so it's like, well, how did that relationship go? It didn't end very well, but I like that they brought that up, That it's like, yeah, he was married. He did fall in love with someone. He, for lack of a better word, depended on someone, He cared for someone. He had a bond with someone. It's just that he lost that bond, And I like that that's sort of the kicker for him. Even though, again, they don't reference it before that point, but it had to happen. That had to be it because he has a son, So that he was married, and you have, you make your inferences, but I like that is, that is sort of the moment, the regret on his path that brings him back around is losing his wife, So yeah, so that I really enjoy that, and I like that, and it's an interesting thing too that that I'm glad she's still alive, Sorry, I'm kicking something down here. It's getting in my foot space. But yeah, like, I like that. It's like, yeah, she's still alive. She is still concerned about him, Because, yeah, at one point she loved him too. Even if she had to get away from him, she loved him at one point. And I like that it's like, yeah, like he's not getting out of all of this because he still needs an earful from her, you know? So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. And then the fight, oh my god, I can't deal with this man, you know? I can't deal with this quality of animation. You know, like I think it's Studio Bones that does this. I guess I can look that up real quick. I think it's Studio Bones. Mob Psycho 100. Anime. Yeah, it's Studio Bones. So it's the same people that do My Hero Academia, which My Hero has great animation in a lot of their fights as well. But I'm bringing this up mainly because you know, the big juggernaut of fight animation, especially right now, is Demon Slayer by Ufotable, which I've just recently wrapped up the second season of Demon Slayer on the channel. And yeah, that fight is ridiculous and crazy. So I like that. I like seeing. I like seeing now more studios, like ever since that, and knowing that, you know, so many people, you know, just go nuts over the animation in Demon Slayer. Now I want to see so much more from different studios. And this, I mean, from episode 1, this show was so great with its animation, you know? So yeah, I really, really enjoy that. And that fight was really, really damn good. Man, he just became a monster, didn't he? I like for that, too, that he basically had the output counter instead of Mob. Like, Mob was always at 100% in this fight, but he kept raising and raising, you know? And does it definitively say then that Mob is not as strong as him? Like, it's really just that he couldn't even handle his true power, but his total output is not as high as his, you know? But he was able to last. He was basically able to outlast Suzuki, even if his power was weaker. So that was a really interesting thing. And then, yeah, he managed to at least somewhat contain the explosion. I mean, he managed to save himself. He managed to save Suzuki, and all of that energy just went into broccoli. That's funny. That's really funny. And again, just the fact that ties back to the beginning of the season when he got those seeds, you know? Oh, it's just amazing. So yeah, so that was really interesting, and the aftermath was fun. Seeing everyone, you know, going their separate ways again. It's also interesting too that the scars, like they lost their scars, and because Ritsu even said like oh, all of our wounds are gone, but our clothes are still pretty banged up, you know. So somehow in that explosion, like they were able to heal everyone as well, you know. So that was interesting. I like that. And I'm glad that they got that one of Show's guys is going to give them a new house. It's just going to take them a couple days. So the parents are going to have to stay at the onsen for a little bit longer. But I like that. It you know what it reminds me of? This is such a random reference for that, but it reminds me of the end of was it Transformers 4? I don't remember which one that's called, but it's the one with Mark Wahlberg. And at the end, it's like, oh, like he's talking to his daughter, like, well, now we get to go home, and his daughter's like, Dad, we don't have a home anymore. And then Stanley Tucci is there, and he's like, I can give you guys a new home. So it kind of reminded me of that. That's an obscure reference. Like, I don't even remember what that movie was called. It's not Dark of the Moon, because that's the third one, I think. Or is that the second one? I don't know. What was the fourth movie called? I don't know. But the one with Mark Wahlberg, which they're not good. Let's just say that none of the Transformers movies are good, but that one was particularly like goofy and stupid to where I was like, well, I can kind of enjoy this, even though it was ass long. So I feel like that was the beginning of movies just going too friggin' long. And is anyone tired of that? This is a tangent and a half, but I'm so tired of movies going too long. Like a movie, like 2 hours, 20 minutes max. I think that's it. That's all you need, you know? Like some of these movies where it's like, man, a 3 hour, 2.5 hour to 3 hour movie. It's like, man, I got shit to do, you know? I can't sit that long. And especially too, because it's that long without breaks. I can watch TV and that's fine. Because between episodes or something, I can, stand up, I can stretch, I can move my body around, Anyway, none of that's important. We're talking about this episode. We're talking about broccoli. I'm fucking tired now. It's the end of the day. Oh, I still got another episode to do. I don't think I can do it, though, because I'm so tired. Yeah. But still, good stuff. I like, again, Steven Universe fully realized I like, the sort of redeeming Suzuki. Like, put an asterisk next to redeem, Because it's like, it's redemption, like he's turning over a new leaf and he's realized the error of his ways. But he is also facing the consequences of his actions, which I like. I enjoy that, really. So, and it's kind of, again, last episode we were comparing Mob Psycho to My Hero and Steven Universe and stuff like that. We'll throw in another one. I don't remember if I said this last episode, but I'll throw in Demon Slayer, mainly just because the last episode that I watched was the finale of season 2 of Demon Slayer. And in that, you have the typical for that show at least, the backstory of the demons that kind of makes you feel bad about their lives, their whole situation, but at the same time, it's like, well, they are demons. They've done terrible things. And it's like, and there's no like full redemption. Like, especially in Demon Slayer, they pretty much say it's like, no, these demons, they go to hell. Even if they learn the error of their ways, they go to hell. They don't go to heaven. And here it's kind of similar where it's like, yeah, he's going to jail. He is definitely going to jail. And they even say, it's like, look, under normal circumstances, you would be executed. But they may keep you alive for research, And I also kind of like that, too. I kind of like that, too, because, again, we'll bring up My Hero Academia again, because one problem with My Hero Academia is how they don't execute All for One. I don't know. That makes no sense. Just kill him and be done with it. Here, I would expect that, but at least they say that. But here, it's like, well, unlike All for One, Suzuki has learned the error of his ways, and he will face punishment. He's not going to try to bust out and try this again, because it's not going to work. In fact, we don't even know. He may have lost all of his power, He may have lost his power after that explosion. I kind of thought about that for a second. Like, what if Mob might have, his powers have weakened because of it, but he still seems fine. So, he just used a lot of energy. He just needs to recharge, basically, Drink some juice, eat some crackers, sleep for like a week, But yeah, and that could be the same case with Suzuki as well. But I don't know. But man, what a crazy season. And again, following up on the first season with Claw, and it's like, oh, now we're all the way up to the leader of Claw. And now I'm sitting here like, well, what the fuck is season 3? We have another season after this. And I'm pretty sure that's not the end. I'm pretty sure they're gearing up for a 4th season. So, I don't know. I don't know where we're going next, but I am incredibly excited. I absolutely love this show, and I can't wait to see more. And next week, we're going to be watching an OVA. The OVA here on Crunchyroll for Season 2, and then after that, we will move on into Season 3. But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Mob Psycho 100 reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.